What's up, YouTube? So, going live. I'm probably like the worst influencer, YouTuber, whatever, because I'm not very good about making content on the run. Honestly, I'm not even that good about making content in general. So anyway, going to give you a quick Vid Coupe update. I've been working on this thing, trying to make a full, legit video for you guys. Hope to maybe post it this week. In the past, I would kind of just work until, I spent a bunch of time on it, and then wherever I was at, I would just edit that video and put it out. But I kind of want to wait until it's completely done on this one. So anyway, working on the coupe, cut the front end off this thing if you hadn't seen. So there's the whole front end off this coupe car. Gonna do a tube front on it for you Fox body guys. You're probably familiar with tube fronts on these. I'm gonna do it a little different than most though. So on this one, it starts off like a normal tube front, right? It kind of ties right into the strut tower brace. Most of these kits though that you would buy for a Fox body ties into the strut tower brace, and then basically they just go straight, all the way up to the front and then kind of curve around and then go back. The problem with that is it doesn't widen the frame rails on these things. And I want to widen this so I can fit, I've got radiator placement options, I guess is the best way to put it. So on this one, basically coming off the strut tower, comes out and it's curving out and then tying into that front bar that's just up front. Now I just got it all kind of tacked in right now. Nothing permanent, just still working through it. Had some questions. I'd posted some videos on Instagram and whatnot. Had some questions about tire radius clearance issues when you turn and whatnot. But the bend doesn't happen until it gets way out here past the fender, where the tire would be basically. I still have room for sway bar mounts if I want to do that. But figured I'd just kind of jump on here, give you guys a quick update, kind of show you what I got going on. So it goes way out here, got a front bar. Still got places to kind of mount the ambers on these four-eyed cars. They have the ambers on these things. They're like the park lights mount on the bumper. And so when you take out the core support and bumper, you basically eliminate where that thing goes. And so I hope to kind of recreate that with this. And this build, I want it to be 100% drivable. I want to drive the wheels off this thing. The Goose is drivable, but there are still some things I need to work through as far as comforts when driving. And I plan to kind of sort through those. But I want this thing, I'm not going to compromise any, but I want a lot of race technology. So we're going to tube front, we're going to make it super light, we're going to make it fast. I'm going to do all the things, but I don't want to sacrifice driving whatsoever. I want to do a front mount turbo on this thing, so I'm going to put a turbo like right in the center. The problem with that is you see it a lot in drag racing. You don't ever see it in street driven cars. There's obviously some reasons for that. One, the obvious reason is that you get rocks and chunks of stuff flying up and potentially going in the turbo. I'll kind of fix that. The other thing is cooling. So if you put a front mount turbo on these cars, where do you put the radiator? If you got a race car, it doesn't really matter, right? Especially if it's like an alcohol setup. I'm going to figure out both. I'm going to do something. Obviously that's why I'm widening the frame rails on this thing, because I think I'll either do dual radiators. So I'll put a small radiator on this side, small radiator on this side, and then tie them together in some form or fashion. And the fact that this thing kind of folds out gives me room to do that. Or do one big radiator that's offset. So maybe it starts here and then goes all the way to the fender itself, which you can't do on a factory frame railed Fox body. And if I do that, I'll have to offset the turbo just a little bit, but I'm gonna figure it out. But that's part of the reason I'm doing all this. So I got the main tubes kind of set, 1 5/8 chrome moly all the way up front, coming through the front, back out the other side. I'm going to do 1 inch chromoly tubes that kind of tie in here, come down tying to these engine 5/8, I'll do like a 1-inch radiator support underneath. And then I really like the idea of having this factory piece here. You know, when you raise the hood, it kind of gives you that factory look initially versus just tubes. So I think I'm gonna try to leave it. It may not make it, but I think I'm gonna try. And if I do, I'll do like a 1-inch chromoly tube underneath, just kind of tie it all in. But a couple things I'm gonna do on this video, or I want to accomplish, is I want to do the whole front tube setup and then be able to kind of pull it off and weigh it to see if there's an advantage to cutting out the factory stuff. So we're going to weigh this bumper and everything. We're going to weigh the piece that I built. And then I also want to do a comparison on K-members. So I had Brent from Hicks House Videos basically donate this K-member setup to this build, A-arms and everything. This is a UPR setup. And I have the factory K-member out of this car. So we're going to basically weigh both of those. The factory K-member out of this car, because it's an early car, is actually lighter than what you would see in the Aero cars. But we're going to do a comparison anyway. I know that you've seen comparisons as far as weight when it comes to K-members, but most of those have been done by the manufacturers. We're going to do it ourselves and just kind of see what the weight difference is. And, you know, between the K-member and this front piece that's been cut out, if we can get like 150 pounds, it'd be rad. So, like I said, video coming soon. Vid Coupe. I've already done like 2 of these. I did one on Instagram and one on Facebook. Just a crappy content maker. I don't really film much while I'm trying to make it. I don't really film much anyway, but anyway. And then one other thing too. So I just recently started a podcast. I've kind of mentioned it a little bit on the YouTube channel, but I didn't want to push it too much until I had a bunch of episodes under our belt, right? I want to make sure that, you know, the content we were creating was worth your time. We got 20 episodes, just dropped them. They're great episodes. It's more of a business style podcast versus, you know, cars and fabrication. But man, there is a ton of value in there. And I guess what I'm asking of you guys is, over the last 10, 12 years when I've been on YouTube, if I've brought you any value whatsoever, I ask you help me out. Go over to the podcast YouTube channel and subscribe for me. It's called the Southcack, like South Carolina, but Southcack, C-A-C-K, Syndicate Podcast. The videos aren't the greatest quality videos. The audio is awesome. You can actually stream it everywhere you stream podcasts as well. So if you just rather listen to it, that's cool too. But right here on YouTube, you can go over there. Give me a subscribe. We're doing 1 video a week, so I'm not going to like bombard you with content and trying to push for like 5,000 subs right off the bat. So y'all go check it out. Southcack Syndicate Podcast. Go check it out. Go watch some of those episodes. Let me know what you think. And hell, I don't even care if you watch them. Just help me out. Let's get this thing rolling right off the bat. And yeah, stay tuned for future stuff. Anyway, little update in the shop. Vid Coupe coming soon. It's about to get cold here in South Carolina. I think we're gonna be in the teens, which is rare for us. I got kerosene. I got heat, so I'm ready to go. But maybe hope to have this video out before Christmas. If not, you'll have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I'll see you on the other side. Now, just gotta figure out how to end this thing.